Hey everyone, it's Kathy Schmitt, the Backyard Stamper, and I am so looking forward to tonight because I have swaps to show you, I have some fun paper pumpkin alternatives to show you, and I also have some scrapbooking projects that I've been working on. So it's going to be a busy night with some really exciting things. So I popped on a little bit early, so let me just make sure that everybody can hear me and that it's playing okay. So I see people coming on. Thank you so much for joining me, Debbie and Lori. And I know my mom is there. Hi, Mom. I'll say hi to her a couple times just to make sure that she doesn't miss me saying hi to her. So what I wanted to talk about first is if you sign up for my newsletter, you will get a free tutorial of each. For anybody that signs up for the newsletter, will get a free tutorial featuring some card templates. So you can scan the QR code, or you can just go to backyardstamper.com. I'd love to have you get my newsletters. The other thing I wanted to talk about, because it is coming up next Sunday, is the scrapbooking event that I am having at the Gilmanton Winery and Vineyard, which is in Gilmanton, New Hampshire. We are going to be featuring 2 kits, and participants can choose which one they want to use. So we'll have Exploring Nature and Currently Loving. And I thought I would show you a couple pages from these kits to show you what they look like in person. So this one here, here's some pages that I made up last weekend. And it is one of the Exploring Nature pages. I already have it in plastic so it doesn't get dirty because I'm handling them a lot these days. So really nice. And then this one I haven't gotten to put the photos on yet. And this one is they're 2-page spreads. So at the class and with any of the Stampin' Up scrapbooking kits, you will make 3 2-page spreads. And the other thing is, if you are not interested in putting them in an album, these make great gifts. You just pop them into a 12 by 12 frame with your pictures and, you know, a little doodad to say who's in the picture maybe, or the date of the photos, and you've got a pretty good gift. So, and you can also make cards with these kits. So this kit here is Currently Loving, and I wanted to show you some pictures that I have on this one. So I use this one. I'm starting to scrapbook my daughter's wedding, and so it's a 2-page layout. So I have it. I know the camera's kind of close, but I'm afraid to jiggle it to move it. So works for card making, not so much for scrapbook. I have a very short cord on my phone, and if it's not plugged in right, then the picture gets blurry, which happened the other day, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong. And then I realized it's because I had pulled on my cord so much that the connection wasn't really secure. So this is the Currently Loving. So I hope to see you there at the Gilmanton Winery. You do have to sign up in advance, and if you go to my Facebook page, it's Backyard Stamper, you can find the link to this event. the link will shoot you over to the Gilmanton Winery page, and then you just click on it. It's $50 to go, and it's you're going to select one of these two kits, and I've prepped the kits ahead of time, so some of the work has been done for you. So, all right. Well, the other thing that I would like to show you are some swaps. So our team did a Valentine's swap, and I just haven't had a chance to show them since Valentine's Day. So this card is from Tracy Dutchison, and it's beautiful. I love this big heart with all the holes that decorate it. And I don't have this one, but people have said that the dots just fall right out. It's not anything you got to spend a lot of time poke, poke, poke. So, all right. And then this one is Jamie Adcock. And I love this stamp set. It's Hope, Love, and Joy bundle. And so see what she did here. This is really clever. She took a corner of the designer paper that she was using on the bottom and made a little doodad in the inside too. It was just a really nice surprise. Okay, and then I have one from my friend Anne, and she used the same bundle. It's the Hope, Love, and Joy. And she used Highland Heather and textured notes right here. This one just went on last chance, and I'm not sure if it's sold out or not. It might be. And a little doodad inside. I love it. Anne, I loved your card so much. I know Anne's on here. Let me stop and say hi. So, hi Lori and Debbie and Stampin' Mama. And I think that's Jamie, right? And then Susie's here. And Anne's here. Stephanie's here. Oh my gosh, you guys, thanks so much for coming on. I appreciate it. Okay, so this one, I can't remember. Oh, no, that wasn't from the Chick swap, but it is a Valentine swap that I got. So I will show you. That's a pretty interesting fold. And it uses the same big heart. Okay, this was mine. So my friend Debbie Frank at Frankly Stamping also showed this layout for a completely different card, and I'm like all over this layout. You may see it a little bit later on the paper pumpkin, but it's I like this layout, and it's a great way to use up scrap DSP. All right, and then this one is from Terry Reitmeyer. And she used let me just make sure. They're all really good about putting recipes in. I did not on mine. I did use the new heart embossing folder though. It's got hearts, little hearts and big hearts, and it's kind of shaped like a rainbow over and over, you know. But she used the Cute as Can Be DSP and the Bee Punch and the Be My Valentine stamp set. So I love Petunia Pop. Oh, it's one of my favorites. I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. If you're a fan of Petunia Pop, you got to run to the store. That was from Backstage, Stephanie. That one, this one here. So this is from Kathy Hammond. And she used the Jar of Love and some older paper, but for this particular swap, we used anything we wanted to for our Valentines. This one is Laura Nigro. She used that heart embossing folder too that I used, and she used the cute bugs. Right? Is that what that's called? Hum. She doesn't have that listed, but it's the bugs. Cute as a bug. That's what it is. And love you lots. That's so cute. And you can use this for, I was going to say birthday too, would just change out your sentiment, but that's cute. So thank you, Laura. This one is from Jamie Tyson. Okay, now hold on to your hats. She used the Hearts of, let me see here. What did she use? Let me open this up. Hugs for Love. And, which is great. And then, look at that. Isn't that amazing? What a great way to show off different patterns of the designer paper. She's used 6 different patterns. Now that is a great way to use up your designer paper that you're hoarding, right? And just by scoring at different, let me grab my ruler here. Where did I put it? Right here. Let's see what she scored it at. So this is an 11 by 5.5 card. So you're only going to get 1 per 12.5 cardstock, but you score it at 1 3/4, 3.5, 5 1/4, and 7. And that will give you the Mountain Valley. Isn't that cool? Oh, and then she did an envelope too. But she did the whole thing, so she puts it in a clear envelope like this with a piece of paper with the address on it. And so that's how it came in the mail. So you can, she's got it covered up so you're not seeing it, but it's got the address on the inside of the plastic. So kind of a unique way to use the plastic bags. Oh, sorry. Do I keep doing this? Whoop. Sorry. Okay. So did you get to see that? Okay. Let me just do that one. Like so. Alrighty. Then this one is from Vicki Burdick, like Lucy the Lamb. And this is a book fold, and she used the hearts as well. And you're simply fabulous. I love it. I had a little lamb named Lucy that I showed in 4-H when I was a kid. So whenever I see the lammy, it's Lucy. Hi, Lucy. This is from my friend, Debbie Frank. Debbie also has a YouTube channel, Frankly Stamping, and we collaborate on some different projects. So I'll show you some of those in a little bit. And I just noticed that she stamped and punched the wings out of Pool Party, but she added a layer of vellum on top. That is nice because when you have just the plain, it doesn't necessarily look like wings. And now it does. And she embossed this outside of the cardstock using the All in a Row embossing folder. Thank you, Debbie. This goes back with Laura's card. Okay, let's see. I got 2 more. This is from Mary Alvis. And she used, this was the paper True Blue Florals from the product of the month. And, oh, All in a Row. I don't know what I said, but I probably didn't say that if Debbie's typing it in the comments. But this is a True Blue Florals. And then this stamp is, what did she, paper tags. So it's a bundle, and the tag, the die cuts out all of this detail here, so it looks like a tag all ready to go. That is really nice. Mary, thank you. And this one is from Jovan. I don't know where Stephanie, did you do a card for this swap? This is Jovan's. And this, I remember this. Mom, do you remember that? It's a Valentine friend stamp set. That's an oldie but goldie. Happy Heart Day. My mom has that one at her house. And then it opens with that same fold, which I don't know what the name of that is, but I like that fold. So thank you, Jovan. I love it. Oh, Stephanie, that's right, because we had to go away. Okay. So those are my swaps for Valentine's. Aren't they great? I think they are. And I have one more, but I forgot to bring it. And so I'll show it next week from my friend Cindy, who sent a card to me. So, all right. So tonight we're going to put together the 3 cards from this February's Paper Pumpkin called Celebrate Spring. And then I'm going to show you a bunch of alternatives, and you are going to be surprised. So the ink spot that comes in this kit is a Shy Shamrock, but I'm going to use my big pad. And I wanted to bring to your attention that these 5 in colors, Shy Shamrock, Peach Pie, Pretty in Pink, Summer Splash, and Petunia Pop, are retiring at the end of April. So, and they're pretty much while supplies last at this point. So you, if you have the pad, you might want to grab the re-inker. If you have some cardstock, you might want to grab the ink pad, stock up, because once they sell out, they are gone. And this was one of my absolute favorite. And I liked Summer Splash too. I liked them all and I used them all a lot. But Petunia Pop, that could stay in my collection forever. All right. So let me grab my supplies. I kind of threw them up there just so. So this is what the stamp set looks like. Inside our Paper Pumpkin kits, you get the sleeve, so you can just slide the stamp sets into a clear sleeve and be able to keep them. And I usually write right here what the month is. So it's February 2026. So that way when I'm looking through them, I'll know. So put that aside. Okay, so these are extra pieces that I had left over, and I don't have many. All right, let's get out our directions. So Debbie and I collaborate on a Paper Pumpkin craft night for our subscribers. And so one of the things that we do is make the first card. But when we got there, everyone had already made the first card. So everyone except me. So that's why I'm going to do the first card. I'm going to just put the cards together because I didn't have a chance to. All right, so the directions, we're going to use a wreath, we're going to use a bunny, and we're going to use a banner. Where did the banner go? It's up here. And it looks like I need an egg. There it goes. Oh, here's my banner. I already stamped it. All right. And here's my egg. Okay, because I took it out and then it went everywhere. So I had started to do this and I went, oh wait, I have to do this on Thursday night. So all I have to do is adhere this part to this. And I couldn't figure out what color this was. It looks like basic beige, but it also could be lemon lolly. So I'm not sure. And the coordinating colors in the kit, it could be crumb cake. The coordinating colors are balmy blue, crumb cake, lemon lolly, peach pie, pretty in pink, and shy shamrock. They use 3 of the 5 in colors that are retiring. So I think they're telling everybody, get it now. All right, let me grab a block. stamping block. Okay. I need my tape. Where did my tape go? That's all right. Hi, Mom. You and I have to put our paper pumpkin together. I know I kind of jumped ahead and did mine without you, but we will do ours this weekend when I come over. And then I'm going to put some dimensionals on. And they have little dimensionals in the kit, but if I have room for the big ones, I'm going to use the big ones. There are some spaces that you can't fit the big ones, and I'll switch over to the little ones. All right, so I am going to peel these off. I should get my Take Your Pick tool because that makes taking off the dimensional backings really easy. All right. And it just goes down. So in the center, you're going to put your bunny. I've got the bunny on some dimensionals. Just take the backing off. And we're going to put that. I don't want to put him too low because I'm going to have my banner. So I want a little bit of my bunny to show. Yeah, that looks good. And then I have my Happy Easter banner, just like so. And that is just adhered with some adhesive. So we'll go ahead and put that on. Like so. And then I need, my little egg is going to get tucked in, and I'm going to pop that up. So you can see these, the egg. I'm just gonna, I should have put the egg in. There you go. Just like that. Isn't that cute? Now I used up all the pink twine that came with the kit. And so I am just going to tie. This is some older twine that I had. It is Stampin' Up! Twine, but it's just not current. I gotta grab my big scissors. All right, and then I'm going to use a glue dot. And you kind of want to just roll your glue dot like a burrito. And then I just put it like so. You can wad it up too, but I like to be able to kind of have the glue dot touch the back of where the loops start so that it keeps them from twisting. So, isn't that so cute? And I'm out of rhinestones too, so I might have to put some regular rhinestone. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I know what I've got. I got the Easter egg ones. Let me grab those. Where did I put those? Right here. Oh, there's not many left. Let me grab a new package. Sorry, I got them in the closet. Okay. You would think I hid them, but I really didn't. Okay, so these are some Easter assortment gems, and I've used all of the yellow and I only have one blue. So I'm just going to open up a new package. These are so cute because they got the little eggs with the pattern on them. I should not have used my ribbon scissors to cut that plastic open. Okay, see how they got lemon lolly and balmy blue? So I'm going to use the blue or maybe some yellow. Inside the kit, they had this orange sequin and it wasn't very pretty. So I use those for the center of all my flowers, and you'll see it on my samples. Okay, card number 1 is all finished. Isn't that cute? And of course, maybe just add a little tiny bit of Wink Estella, right? Who is going to say no to that? I'm just going to wink up my whole bunny rabbit. There. See if that shows up. Not a whole lot. Let me get this one out. There we go. Now I got some sparkle. I am sure. Oh, you can kind of see it up there. All right, so that's card number 1. Let's set that right there. Now, card number 2. And these are just from the kit, and then I'm going to show you the alternatives. They came out so good, you guys. And it's been a lot of fun to do this paper pumpkin craft along, because I never made alternatives, ever. I just always make them just like the kit shows, because that's what I like to do. My mom and I do it together. And, but I decided I wanted to do this extra for my Paper Pumpkin subscribers. And so that's how they came about. And then I asked Debbie if she'd like to collaborate with me, and there you go. All right, so this one uses a square. They have these squares that are, it's actually not a square. It looks kind of like a square, but it's a rectangle, but they got little green dots all the way around it. So we're going to take the Sweet Spring Greetings. And put that on there. Take my Shy Shamrock. And I always use the board that comes with the Paper Pumpkin kit to kind of prime my stamps. And then it's just going to be stamped right in the center. Like so. I love it when it works out the first time. Okay, and then this is going to just get popped up right there. Let me grab my big ones again. All right. Have you guys ever tried taking your dimensional backings off like that? It's really quick and easy. All right. Then I'm just going to put that right there. And then I'm going to take, I need some green. Let's see here. Yep, oh, there they are. 3 tulips and 3 green leaves. And so we're going to, looks like we're going to put them on like like this. Oh, I can put that one goes up on this one, like so. Kind of do a dry fit, you know, that's always the best thing to do. So it looks like you put a leaf kind of behind each tulip, like so. And then down here, we're going to, I think I need one more leaf. Put one there. There it is. And right there. Isn't that pretty? All right, now to get this all to adhere, I'm going to use glue dots. And the kit comes with glue dots. And I just always forget to use those. So I have a stack of them. I like the glue dots, but I know a lot of people aren't really a fan. So Susie said you tried to do the, take your pick to take the dimensional backings off. I will show you the tip that I used to kind of figure it out. Because at first, all I did was keep digging into my into the actual dimensional, like making a mess of it. All right, so I'm going to put 2 glue dots on this one. Debbie said when she made her kit up, after all the alternatives, she only had a couple of green leaves. And I'll show you what I have left over. I found some parts and pieces just last night. So, oh, Stephanie says she gives her glue dots to a friend. That is nice. Sharing is caring. That is the trick, Susie, to come from the top. At least that's what works for me. Okay, so there's my little tulip and garland. I'm going to just turn this a little bit so it doesn't line up exact. Kind of like that. There. Isn't that cute? And I'm going to put my gems on, and this time I'm going to use the blue ones. And I don't want the Easter eggs yet because this is a spring card. So I'm just going to put some out here. Do it like that. And I'll put one up here. Actually, I'll move that one down a little bit. If you don't know where to put them, I tend to put them by my florals. So that's card number 2. Isn't that sweet? I would love to get a card that said sweet spring greetings, especially when we've got like 4 feet of snow on the ground. Okay. And our last card, whoops, is right here. This one is really cute. Cute, cute. So the first thing I did for the kit was I took out all the parts and pieces for each of the 3 cards. And that way I knew what I had left. And from there, I just started building. But if you want to make one of the original cards to show people what they look like, then that would be a good place to start. All right, so this one uses this big basket. So cute. And we have to stamp our grass. And I'm going to tell you, this is the best grass stamp. It's like foolproof. Anne likes the glue dots too. Like so. And I need my green. Okay, and so it looks like they want you to kind of stamp 2 rows of grass. See how perfect that grass is? You can't go wrong. There's not a top, there's not a bottom, it's all just grass. I love it. Like so, okay? And then let me stamp my tag while I have it right here, and then I can close up the ink. I need hello friend. Hello friend. I love saying the stamps, like the sayings from a stamp to people. Because it's just funny. We have a stamp pretty much for every occasion. Okay, so hello friend. I think that's crooked, but that's okay. Slightly, but I'm okay with that. All right, let me close the top. We don't want a disaster. Okay, so let's get our pieces back in and throw our stamp pad stuff away, or up out of the way. All right, so it needs dimensionals, so let me put some dimensionals on the basket. And I know most of you know, but on the paper pumpkin directions, if it's an open circle, it's a dimensional. If it's a dot, look, a closed, filled-in circle, it's a glue dot. So that's how you know if they want you to pop something up, they'll show you with an open scissor. Or open dot, sorry. I was reaching for my scissors. Can't do 2 things at once. I'm so excited too because I participated in another swap and they are en route in the mail. So I can't wait to show you those. That's going to be fun. Okay, so let me see. I want to put my eggs in now. Isn't that a fun bunch of eggs? So I am going to go ahead and put dimensionals behind that. And they tell you to just stick it right in the middle. So let's see if that works. If I go like that, yep, I can do it. It's like this. There goes the eggs floating in the air. All right. And I miss you too. I got clearance to go snowshoeing from the doctor. Now I just need time. Working full time cramps my style. Okay, so Susie, I come from the top, but I see how I'm holding it kind of on a slant? Kind of like how left-handers write like this. Sometimes they curl their hand around. So that's kind of how I do it. I flick it that way. I found if I come this way, I end up gouging the dimensional. So this way, for some reason, keeps me from going in to the dimensional and digging a hole in it. There. And you just stick it in and kind of pull it towards you. And that will get those right off. All right, so let's see here. There goes my eggs are no longer floating. They're in the basket. That's good. Then I need this. I need some twine again. And let's tie a bow. And sometimes this twine or thread, whatever you want to call it, it twists on the loop, and it's so aggravating when it does that. But not today. All right, So I've got my little hello friend. That's because I'm not even going to pop that hole out. I'm going to just stick it on right on the hole. So I got my glue dots rolled up like a tamale again. I'm putting it across the hole, which will help keep that little center, the circle piece in it anyways. And then squish it right down on top of the glue dot. But see how this one twisted a little bit? So by making the glue dot into a tamale, you can catch that last bit of twine and force it to behave. Okay, and now let's see here. Okay, they put it down here. They don't pop that up. I might decide to pop that up. All right, we've got lots of flowers here. Oh, I have to color an egg. Maybe I don't want to. Because look, it's too big. All right, maybe I'll put it on the ground. So the one thing that if you don't like this green egg, you can flip it over and stamp it in any color that you like. And I'm going to still stamp it with the Shy Shamrock, but I'm going to stamp it on the white side. So even eggs have two sides, right? If you don't like the green side, you can stamp on the white side. So, and then I'm going to give it a little trim just to clean it up a little. There. And I think I'm going to put this on the inside, actually, instead of the outside. There. So if I put that little egg in here, or here, I could stamp the other one and make it so that they look like they're together. That would be nice. I'm going to use Balmy Blue though, so that, or Pretty in Pink, just so I have a different color on the inside. So I'm going to stamp like so in Pretty in Pink, and then I'll put the green one on top like so. There. All right, let me add some adhesive. There. And I'll stamp my Happy Easter later on. Okay, so this is going to go here, and I've got all these daffodils, so I'm going to arrange them, and they are just dotted on, or glue dotted on. So that's what I'm going to do. So you got two big ones, or one big one, one little one, and these look like they're kind of on top of the flowers like that. Kind of like so. It looks like one is popped up, so we'll get one out of the way. We'll put one here. So even though it looks like grass, guess what? That grass can turn into a stems for flowers. Oops, I want to use a small one for that. Okay, and I'm just going to put it like so. Okay, and then on the other side, I've got this one is going to go up there, and the little one is going to come out here. So let me adhere this one. It seems kind of funny to have the big one on the basket. Maybe I want to do it like that. You know why? Because I can, right? It's my card. Okay, like so. Did I adhere this yet? No. Okay, there's the card. And let's put some of these cute eggs on this one. That will be cute. Let's see if I can get them with my take your pick. Yes. Oh, that is so sweet. Look at them. I really haven't used these yet because, you know, it's been Valentine's and it's just, they are too cute for words, right? And I'm just going to put one more there, like so. Cute. And I'll add some Wink Stella. We'll shine these little flowers up and the eggs. I need to squeeze my Wink Stella, but sometimes when you do that, you get a blob, so I don't want to do it on camera. You might hear some language. Okay, so these 3 cards, let me clean up my mess here so I can have lots of room to show you the alternatives. Because this was a great set, and I love when they've got a you know, like a themed set, but they don't give only the themed stamps. They provided, you know, springtime stamps instead of just Easter stamps. Okay, so let me just put that away, clean off my eggs, and I am ready to go. And this one there. Cute, cute. I love that grass, man. That's going to stay right on my desk. You just don't know how many times I need a good grass stamp. All right. Let's move all this out of the way here. All right. So after my alternatives, this is what I had left. I had one of these. I had a little tiny bit of the envelope that I cut up. I had a little bit of twine and I had, whoops, a little more twine. There's my 2 twines. And then I had 3 envelope halves because I cut the flaps off. And then I think I might have had a couple full-size envelopes, but that's pretty good for all the tearing apart that I did. And I can still make one more card with that stuff. All right, let me bring these in. These are our cards we made. Like so. All this out of the way. Okay, so these are our cards. Get that out of the way. All right. Here's a sweet spring greeting. Now this card, I accidentally cut my cardstock too short, so I just made a short card. This is this card base that I cut off, and I embossed it with exposed brick. And then they were little tiny scraps in my flap that I fit the banner from Stylish Shapes. So the banner piece only comes in about that far on both sides. It doesn't go all the way across. And then I pulled in these flowers from long, long ago. And look at how cute they look. So use your stash, don't forget. This one was inspired by Debbie, who had cut hers and with the tulip and did the doodads. The only difference for mine is I used this piece that had the oval, and I layered, this green is one of the card bases. It's the back of this one that I cut out, and just so it's layered. So most of them I didn't stamp on the inside. Every once in a while I did, though. Here is another one that Debbie did, and we cut strips from our envelope, and it's one envelope flap will make both of these strips. And then she used a 2-inch punch and the 1 7/8 inch punch. And then we used Pretty in Pink. And all I did that was different was I embossed the whole piece. Debbie's original, she had this piece embossed, but not the whole piece. And I was just like, I'm just embossing the whole thing. And then I tied a double bow there. And I had one little strip from my envelope still, so I put it in the card. Nothing goes to waste. You know, and that is one thing when you're doing the alternatives, you really don't want to waste anything because you can turn anything into an alternative. All right, so this is my blue card here, and I cut the base down right to the side. So I cut the card front off right on the score line, and then I just kind of made a hill with the flowers. And I probably should have gone up a little more, and I'm probably going to sponge around, or I've got a cloud stamp or something because it's a little too much white right there. But all these little pieces came from I cut some of these. There were a couple flowers here, up here. So I cut those out and I put them in there. I added some of that greenery, a tulip, some of the daffodils, and then some of these other pieces were from this wreath. I cut up this wreath pretty much, the whole thing. So, and see, those are those sequins that came with the kit. They were a little on the orangey. They look great on the daffodils, but on the cardstock, this color, it looks okay. But on the green and blue, they looked odd. So there's another one. This one is one that I came up with, which I just used a piece of the envelope flap, and this I embossed another back of my this piece here. So we chopped up most of our card bases, and then this is a section of the wreath. It's really like from this flower down to this flower. And then I cut them apart a little bit to straighten them because they were curving and I wanted it to follow the envelope flap. And then did my greeting and my little bow. And here's a little piece of the envelope flap. Oh, you guys like my little flowers? Thank you so much. These little flowers in here, I loved those. I think it was from Playing in the Rain. Wasn't it? I don't know. They had hearts and flowers. I don't remember. They're old, but I still have some. Okay, let me just make sure I can kind of fit everything in the window because we got more. All right, Debbie showed us how to do a shaker card. Look at that. So we stamped inside this oval piece with all sorts of color eggs. And then other than that, it's exactly the same card with the exception of there's no bunny. Fun, huh? I always forget how fun it is to make shaker cards. I don't do them very often. So when I do make them, I'm like, why don't I do these more often? Okay, so see, these two cards are similar in colors. Shy Shamrock with this piece on there, and the Sweet Spring Greetings, but then it's everything else that makes it different. Remember how I said I love that layout that Debbie showed on another card, but I used it on my Valentine's swap? Here I did it with the envelope flap, cut, and then I cut my Pretty in Pink square just to put it on a diamond for this one. And then as a surprise, I'm like, oh, that all lines up. That looks really good. And I have one of the green dot white ones behind it. And this is the balmy blue sheer ribbon. So that's fun. And to dress it up even more, you could emboss this blue part. And I put that one on. Stephanie loves the shaker card. I knew you guys would. Debbie makes good cards. All right. So here is a card that I made that, which is funny, and I'll show you what's funny about it. So I just stuck the bunny on. Here's part of the wreath. It's like one section. I just curved it around, added a tulip, and there's a piece of greenery to add if it needed it. 2 of the eggs. It's the back of those green eggs. So I flipped them over and stamped the Happy Easter. And then I have that. I kind of wish I had put this up on like a banner piece so it wasn't so flat. But, and I might, you just don't know. Okay, so look at this. I designed this one and Debbie designed this one. Although I did give her the idea for it. To make a window and stick the bunny out of the window. But look at how similar they look. I mean, we didn't really realize it until we were making the cards. But that just shows how this layout is versatile. So she used the largest stylish shape to cut out the square and then put the eggs on. And then when you open it, you see a little bit of the bunny, and we stamp the eggs across the bottom. And the Happy Easter pokes through the window. Isn't that cute? Oh, I forgot my little bow tie on that one. I'll have to tie one because it definitely needs the little ribbon or the string. Oh, Debbie said I actually designed it. Well, okay. All right, and then this one, this is glaring in my eyes. We'll put that over there. Okay. This is one of Debbie's designs, and this was one of my favorite. Even this part of the card, I absolutely love. The triangle, I love that. But wait for it. Dun, dun, dun. Oops, sticky. Dun, look at, Deb did a pop-up in the center. So there's a little mechanism. It's a square box that's folded, and it's tipped a little bit because it fits in better on the fold. And what's sticking is my glue dot is sticking because I got a big glue dot that didn't behave. So it's like a massive glue dot. So let's see there. I think that's better. Cover it up. So isn't that sweet? And I think Debbie had 2 of these because we made this one, but the one she had before had the bunny inside. But we didn't have any more bunnies after we did the alternatives. So cute. Cute, cute. So let's see, what did we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 cards instead of only 9 that the kit said. And I think they're all beautiful. I'm just spreading out the colors a little bit. There. So, and I have enough. I can probably make one more card with 2 eggs and some of the flowers. And I'm pretty sure I have some of my envelopes left. I thought they were in the box, but they weren't. And I'm just going to tie this here. And that way I don't forget, because these are going to go in the mail, I think, for Easter time. Some people will get a Easter and some will get a spring, but that's all right. You know, Stephanie says that she said she stopped her subscription. I think that the kits, in my honest opinion, they have gotten a lot better. And I also think that the one thing they could do to make it, knock it out of the park, is to make the cardstock a little thicker. If they just do that one part, then that's all it would need to do. There. Now he's not naked anymore. Okay, let me come back and say hi. I did say hi to everybody. You guys like the cards. I'm so happy. That really, really makes me happy. You know, it's a lot of work to make cards, but it's such good therapy, isn't it? You know, and it's so good for your brain to be creative, and it's fun to stamp and craft with friends. It's a lot of fun for me to craft with my mom. And yeah, so we'll keep on getting together. We can craft along on Zoom. We can craft along on YouTube. And, you know, we'll continue to get together. And our team on Monday is mystery stamping night. So it's going to be a fun card. Different than I've made before, but it just like popped into my head. And so I'm really excited to show you. All right, let me see if there's any questions. Oh, Stephanie says that she agrees about the paper pumpkin, but she has 2 storage boxes full of unstamped kits. And you know, I've been there and I know what that feels like. So I did pause mine for a while, but once I started stamping them with my mom, we actually started doing them. And what was holding me back, honestly, is I would wait to see other people's alternatives and say, ooh, I like that. Ooh, I like that. And then never make the kit at all. Don't make the alternatives. Don't make the card kits. And so then I went back to just making the card kits that came just as they are planned. And I've done that for a while. And then in January, when I started the Paper Pumpkin Craft Along, that's when I changed it. So anyways, you guys have a great, you have the first Paper Pumpkin kit. Oh, whoa. You better save that one. You should bring it to Onstage and have Sarah autograph it for you. So, don't forget about my scrapbooking event. Here it is. Gilmanton Winery, March 8th, 1 to 3. I'll put the link in my description of this video. It's on my Facebook page. It's on my blog, and you can always just reach out, leave me a comment here if you can't find it. So I hope to see some of you. Thank you guys so much for tonight. I appreciate you.